If you're learning Linux, cloud computing, DevOps, or anything related to servers, there's one tool you absolutely need to understand: SSH. SSH stands for Secure Shell. It allows you to securely connect to and control a remote computer through your terminal. Most servers don't have a monitor, keyboard, or mouse attached to them. They're sitting somewhere in a data center. So when administrators and developers need to manage those servers, they usually do it through SSH. You type commands on your computer, and those commands execute on a completely different machine somewhere else in the world. So why is it called Secure Shell? Before SSH, there was a protocol called Telnet that provided remote access as well. The problem was that Telnet sent data in plain text. Passwords, commands, and responses could potentially be read by anyone intercepting the network traffic. SSH solved that problem by encrypting everything between your machine and the remote server. Even if someone captures the traffic, they cannot read the actual contents. That's why SSH became the standard way to manage remote servers. Now let's understand how SSH works. There are two components involved. The first is the SSH server. This runs on the machine you want to connect to. On Linux systems, the server process is commonly called SSHD. It runs in the background and waits for incoming SSH connections. The second component is the SSH client. This runs on your machine and is used to initiate the connection. The relationship is simple. The SSH server listens. The SSH client connects. That's it. To connect to a server, you typically run a command like this. When you press enter, two important things happen. First, the client and server establish an encrypted connection. This creates a secure tunnel between the two machines so that all communication is protected. Second, the server needs to verify your identity. In other words, it needs to know that you're actually authorized to access the machine. There are two common ways to authenticate. The first is with a password. The server asks for your password, you enter it, and if it's correct, you're allowed in. The second method is with SSH keys, which is what most professionals use. SSH keys come as a pair, a public key and a private key. The public key is stored on the server. The private key stays on your machine and should never be shared. When you connect, the server verifies that you possess the matching private key. If the verification succeeds, you're authenticated without needing to enter a server password. SSH keys are generally more secure than passwords because they are extremely difficult to guess or brute force. That's why cloud providers commonly recommend or even require SSH key authentication. So what can you do once you're connected? Pretty much anything you could do if you were physically sitting in front of that computer. You can install software, edit files, run scripts, restart services, check logs, update applications, and manage the entire system. The only difference is that the computer may be located hundreds or thousands of miles away. SSH can also be used to securely transfer files between machines using tools such as SCP and SFTP, which are built on top of SSH. So to summarize, SSH is the standard way to securely connect to remote machines. The SSH server runs on the machine being accessed. The SSH client runs on your machine. The connection is encrypted, your identity is verified through passwords or SSH keys, and once connected, you can fully manage the remote system. Whether you're working with Linux, cloud platforms, DevOps tools, system administration, or software deployment, SSH is one of the most important tools you'll use throughout your career. Once you understand the client-server relationship and how authentication works, SSH becomes one of the simplest and most powerful tools in your toolbox.